I know you have a few speeches to deliver this semester. Some people are probably not bothered by that at all. Others are a little, freaked out. Let me share some ideas on boosting your public speaking confidence. I want to help you turn those I can'ts into I cans. Today, I'm going to explain the reasons for and the processes involved in nervousness about public speaking. And then I'm going to try describing some effective strategies for building public speaking confidence. Communication apprehension, or speaker anxiety as we often call it, may have a genetic component, which means some of you are more susceptible to it. It doesn't mean you can't speak well. It may just mean that you have to try a little harder to succeed. It's so unfair, I know. Blame your parents. That is called trait anxiety. There's another kind of anxiety called state anxiety, which is becoming nervous about a specific incident. This one is easier to control. The whole reason we have anxiety is a miscommunication between the survival parts of our brains and reality. Part of your brain thinks you're under some kind of attack, and so it starts to release hormones associated with nervousness. Some things to remember when this is happening are: 1, you will feel more nervous than you look. The audience won't be able to tell you're nervous nearly as much as you fear they might. And 2, you can't make all the anxiety go away, so let's learn to use it to our advantage. One way to do that is this third point. Rename your nervousness and call it excitement. The strange thing about those brain chemicals is the same hormones that are released during anxiety are released during excitement as well. It can really be all in how you decide to think about what your body is doing. If you decide to speak to an audience about something they're interested in, they will give you signals of acceptance and enjoyment in listening to your speech. This will decrease your anxiety. Don't put off your speech preparations. Give your brain time to get used to what you're talking about. Let your points become as familiar as your own name. That too will reduce anxiety about forgetting something. Choose a topic that is interesting to the audience. You may love model trains to the point of needing professional help, but it is unlikely that anyone else in this class does. So choose a topic that has high interest, and the audience will reward you with positive feedback during your speech, which will help reduce anxiety. Be prepared, and it will make you more confident. When you know what you want to say and have practiced, then you will speak smoothly. This is the one place students tell me after their speech that they wish they'd focused on. And finally, get organized. Do you know where your note cards are? Is your PowerPoint ready? Do you have a bottle of water nearby? Have everything you need for success. Almost, and it's just an almost, memorize your intro and conclusions. The intro gets you started so you don't freak out about having nothing to say, and the conclusion will let you finish strong and not just ramble on and on trying to find a way to quit talking. Knowing exactly what you want to say for these two parts of the speech will really help you. Practice in as close to the setting you'll do your speech in as possible. Can you practice in front of someone? Do so. Breathe, and by this I mean taking good, deep belly breaths. It calms the nervous system down. Especially before you speak, give yourself a few deep belly breaths, and that will help your anxiety. And if you have all sorts of nervous energy, then before you speak, bounce that leg up and down and use up some of that energy. While you're speaking, you'll burn the energy as you speak, so you don't have to worry about it as much. Afterwards, if you need to go and walk it off, that's a great idea too. Finally, there's quite a lot of science behind visualization of success. Never ever start a speech with, "Sorry guys, this is gonna suck." Believe it or not, I've heard that intro before. If you think you will succeed, you will at least control some of the nervousness. Just before you speak, tell yourself, "I'm excited about this." Science shows it really works, even if you feel corny saying it in your head. And if you're doing a recorded speech, it's even better if you say it out loud. Focus on the speech. You've prepared and you've practiced. Let the audience know you have your act together. Focusing on the nervousness just makes it increase. But if you find yourself starting down that path of thinking, then think the word stop and then go on with your speech. Even if you have to take a small pause and a deep breath, you'll find that the results are better than if you just started focusing on your anxiety. Even if you have to take a small pause and a deep breath, you'll find that the results are better than if you just started focusing on your anxiety. Find someone in the crowd who's paying attention and smiling at you. When you're recording your speech, you just have to imagine them though, unless they're the ones holding the camera. If you have a camera assistant, remind them how important it is to smile at you the whole time. They are smiling to make you feel better. It will work. Don't just speak in this class. Anxiety lessens when you do the thing you fear more often. Take every chance to speak in front of others, and you'll develop a solid skill that will help you for the rest of your life. And finally, know this. Everyone thinks they sucked when they finish their speech. They think they forgot to say something or whatever. The audience doesn't know what you didn't tell them. The audience also wants you to succeed. I want you to succeed. I've always found that students were much harder on themselves than anyone else. So give yourself a break. There's nothing magical that will take away all anxiety, and you wouldn't want it to. Anxiety brings about an intensity of focus, an increased tolerance of risk, and all sorts of other benefits. The dopamine high, a hormone your brain just loves, that you'll get after you speak is the reward for a job well done.